Hi, I'm Steve Lowery. I'm the Arts and Culture Editor at the Long Beach Post. We're here with Mskindness Ramirez and my daughter Maddison, who's kind of cool. And we're at the Bevel Group headquarters in Long Beach, which is spectacular. Mskindness, you're here to teach, to enlighten.
That's what I do.
So you're going to show us a couple things. The first thing you're going to show us is how to roll a joint.
Yes, I'm going to show you how to roll a joint.
How did you learn how to roll a joint?
You know, it was a long time ago, but I was dating this wonderful man, and he said, hey, you got to learn how to roll a joint. Use a bamboo roller. And this is before they were this big. They were about 75% this size.
Like the things you get, like you see at a sushi restaurant.
Yeah, it's like a sushi roller, a mini sushi roller.
Okay.
And so he taught me how to use one of these. And in years since, I've learned how to also do it with my bare hands.
Interesting. Which do you prefer?
I prefer the bamboo roller.
And why?
Because they come out perfect. It's something about the geometry of the way this just rolls along the joint. It's done in seconds, and it's a clean lick, and you know, it's a ritual. I love it. Yeah.
Let's see. So let's see what you do.
So step one, you need to have a source, right? You need to have some flour to smoke.
Okay.
Childproof.
Okay.
See that? I had to push down. Yes. Really? Regulated market there. Right?
Oh, very nice. Okay.
You need to grind it up
because
you cannot put an entire bud into a joint, right?
Okay.
You got to grind it up. So
right.
We'll just break it up into pieces.
Very nice.
What are we smoking today?
What are we smoking today?
What are we smoking today?
That's a good question. You should always know what you're smoking.
See, and I don't. See, so
Shame
I'm
on me.
already bad. Okay, so what are we smoking today?
You know, let's see. This here is, it looks like it's by Quest.
It's a
sativa hybrid.
That's going to be good for you.
That's good for me.
It's good to know. Yeah, I mean, typically the effects of a sativa hybrid are going to feel uplifting, maybe a euphoria. Some people will say that they are energetic from it.
Why do you think this will be good for me?
Because you got a combination of the more kind of cerebral high and the physical high.
So I have to go home and write after this. Would I still be able to write after something like this? Would it relax me?
I think the sativa would help you.
Would actually help?
Yeah, I'd say don't drive, but definitely when you get home, you might find that you really enjoy writing.
Interesting, because this has been a lifelong search for me. Writing is a horrible, anxiety-filled activity for me, and my kids have tried to find me stuff that would keep this sharp, but relax this.
Take that edge off.
Yeah,
this might be perfect.
Okay. Well,
so you're going to let us know later how it goes, right?
I will.
So step 2, you need paper, right?
It.
So I'm using here a zigzag. I place it down on my bamboo roller. This is the way I like to do it.
Okay.
I always use a tip because we talked about this, Maddison. Like tips are good for what? Like just keeping the joint stable.
Okay, I like that.
Right. We're going to be sharing this.
Right.
So I feel like it's more sanitary.
Sure.
Right. Keeps the tip from getting soggy as you're passing it around.
It's nasty.
It's not
yeah.
Nasty.
Okay. So we have our flour that's been ground, and we're just gonna put it into the paper like this.
It's pretty.
Yeah, right? It smells good too.
It's pretty.
It smells really good too.
Here we go.
Okay, now, I just pick it up in half like this.
Okay.
I roll down, right? This is the same thing we'll do with our thumbs when we don't have the bamboo roller.
Okay.
And this is so wonderful because watch this.
Okay.
And it's a perfect joint. It's a perfect
This
joint.
is like a magic trick.
It's perfect.
There
It's
we
like
go.
a magic trick. And then I lick here. You're gonna share my DNA today.
Okay, that's cool. Wow, look at that.
Yeah. There you go.
Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That one's kind of thin. You know, we could put as much as we want in there.
Yes.
You can pack it. You can make it thick. Some people use blunts. I don't advocate for that. I like traditional papers. Yeah.
All right, see, this is where I show my ignorance. So I've heard the word blunt a billion times. I've even written it to be kind of funny, but I don't know what the heck it means. What does that mean? What does blunt
They're
mean?
the brown tobacco papers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't like
I don't
that.
advocate for them for that reason because when you smoke cannabis, you need to inhale all the way into the lungs, which
Okay, so you just hit on something. We talked about tobacco. My mother, when I was a kid, smoked all the time, cigarettes. So I always hated them. It was distasteful. So when this came around, when I was a young person, I don't want to smoke anything.
Right.
So now, every now and then I smoke with my daughter. And apparently, I'm horrible at it, okay? What do you think I do wrong?
I think he's just not inhaling enough. I think it is that kind of sense memory, like,
Absolutely.
this is smoke, this is negative, this is not good for me.
I shouldn't be taking this hot smoke into my lungs,
Exactly.
right? So you do have that sort of adverse reaction to it, but absolutely for it to be effective, you need to take that deep inhale.
Okay. So what do I do? So I have it here.
You have it here.
Right.
You're gonna There's smoke in your mouth at that point.
Okay.
And then you're going to that same smoke down into the lungs.
Like literally like
yes,
that?
a gasp.
And then it goes in?
Gasp.
Hold it.
Yep. Now what should I feel when I do? Should I feel it like in my chest?
Not necessarily. It depends on the consumer, but 2 to 3 seconds, and then exhale.
Right.
And you'll see the smoke come out. That's when some people cough in that transfer.
Okay, now there's Stephen right there, who apparently is a Navy SEAL when it comes to smoking pot. Stephen was telling us that you should inhale. Mm-hmm. Then, when you can't breathe anymore,
take
inhale
another
again.
gasp.
Is that true?
Yes, you can do
Sorry,
that.
Stephen, you're absolutely right.
I mean, that's when you really want to get a deep inhale.
Wow.
So for me, when I'm teaching new consumers, I'll say, take that small inhale, 2 to 3 seconds, exhale.
Okay.
Wait. And just wait.
Okay.
Give it a minute, right? Enjoy that, taste that, smell the terpenes, taste the terpenes, which are additional components of cannabis.
Okay.
And start to, have that experience, right? Then take another hit. You can do a deeper inhale on the second hit. I say 2 to 3 hits for new consumers and wait 15 to 20 minutes for onset.
Now, if I'm having a beer or wine or liquor, I know when I'm starting to feel buzzed. I know what that feeling is. But like when I'm with her sometimes, she'll say like, well, and I'll be like, well, I don't know. What's going on? What triggers tell me like, okay, here we go on a fun little ride?
That's a really great question.
Thank you very much.
It's typically you monitoring what your baseline was
Right.
and how far you've gone off of it.
Okay.
It's different for everybody. I don't necessarily trip out anymore.
Okay.
For me, having a regular dose of cannabis throughout the day is my normal state now.
Right.
That's how I maintain my wonderful positive demeanor.
You love Mskindness?
That's how I stay Mskindness.
Right.
So you really want to think, okay, how am I starting this experience? And now 15, 20 minutes later, let me take a survey of how far I am from that baseline.
Okay.
And you're going to know that. You might feel just slightly more relaxed.
Okay.
You might feel more anxious. Then we start to evaluate, is it the right strain for you?
Right.
You might feel sleepy.
Yeah.
Right.
You might want to get up and clean the house. You might want to get up and dance. But it doesn't necessarily always have to feel like this heavy cloud
Right.
over your mind.
Right.
And I think that's what sometimes people think they're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say you'll notice that music all of a sudden is like really good. Especially like if you're listening to something that's kind of crappy and you're like, oh, I could see why people.
So do this with like Nickelback.
Yeah,
Would be good.
that might help.
Nickelback.
I don't know if
Dave
this will help
Matthews,
Nickelback.
something like that. Okay.
Sorry to the Nickelback fans.
Yeah.
Heightened senses.
Heightened senses, flavors
great.
of food, you can definitely like taste a lot more acutely.
Okay. I always just thought sitar music would be in my head or like that kind of.
Potentially, depending on the strain.
Right,
It's really important to be intentional about
Okay.
it. Just sit down with intention to consume this wonderful plant and let it do what it's supposed to do for you and feel that.
All right, so
Terrific. Okay.
can we?
Yeah, you want to smoke? So,
Let's
a
do
good
it.
consumer cleans up their messes, right? I always try to save the rest of my flower. You
Very
don't want
good.
to waste
Waste
wonderful
not.
plants.
Waste not.
Close
My
your
mother would like
containers.
that very much, yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
She will smoke like 3/4 of a cigarette, save the last quarter, keep it on our porch, and then like smoke the rest.
That's saving money too.
Yes,
saving money.
exactly.
Yeah.
Really.
She'll also eat a chicken bone, break it, and suck the marrow. So she was in the depression. She's in the depression. It's a different time. All right, so let's do it.
Okay, so
Excited.
the last and final step is to light this, right?
Right.
But we need something to light it with.
Oh, Stephen.
Fire over here.
Oh, I was hoping he'd come on
Awesome.
camera so everyone
I
could
know.
see Stephen. All right, here we go.
So, you know what? You do the honors. Yeah, go ahead and do the honors for us. Let Maddison, show your dad how you do this.
Okay, Dad. So you're gonna put it in your mouth.
Okay. She looks like she's in a Western. Okay, here we go.
Per Steven's request.
Yes.
2 inhales.
Look at that.
And there
See
you
that?
go.
Okay, no cup. Oh, I'm so nervous.
It's
All
good.
right,
Okay,
we
so
ready?
we like this.
Everyone
Yeah.
look at me. Okay, here we go.
And then
Initial inhale.
hold it, and exhale. Oh, there's the cough. There's no cough. Okay.
You got this, Dad. You got it. Relax.
Nice job.
Relax.
Nice job. Oh, nice job, Steve.
I just don't want to disappoint Stephen. That's the whole thing.
Take some more deep breaths. Take some more deep breaths. I want to say something just because I'm an educator in the space, and it's
Yes.
really important to me. You put the joint in your mouth, and you lit it with this butane flame, and then you inhale that first hit. So I just would say,
Yes.
light it out here first, get it a little lit. Take some puff that you don't inhale to get that light.
Yes.
And then go ahead and happily smoke your joint.
Okay. And why is that?
Because this is lit with butane, and you're
So you're taking it into
inhaling
butane.
right away. Yes. Now, I mean, there are lots of, theories around it.
Right.
That's why there are those hemp wicks now that they've created.
Okay.
So yeah, just be mindful of that. I want you to live a long time.
You did a little interview with our reporter Asia Morris.
Yes.
About being a parent and talking with your kids. This was difficult for me, to be honest. This has only been a very recent thing.
Right.
I'm 57 years old. This was evil weed and all this kind of stuff. When you talk to people of my generation, what do you say to them about talking with, either your kids, your adult kids about this?
I just be really candid. My parents, I had to educate them. I grew up in a really conservative house. So for me, it was the same teachings, probably what you were receiving in your home as well. But when I injured myself, I took it upon myself to do some research. And frankly, cannabis was number one on the list for chronic pain and dealing with what I was suffering with.
Right.
As I started to learn, I realized the best way to approach all teaching, like I did in the classroom when I was teaching, is to just start with the basic facts.
Yeah.
So if I'm talking to any of my elders or even my same age group, because I'm a 40 plus, I tell the truth. Listen, did you know that prior to 1941, cannabis was a #1 prescribed pharmacopoeia? No way. I didn't know that. And it sparks a conversation, which is then just rooted in really simple facts.
Right.
Yeah. I try not to over glamorize. We talk about some of the stigmas and the stereotypes. We laugh.
So you
about
don't
them.
villainize, but you don't over glamorize.
Yes,
You just try to give them
absolutely.
the facts.
Basic
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what I got here today, and I want to thank you very much because I feel smarter. I don't know if I'll feel high, but we'll find out later. What's
15, 20 minutes for onset. You want to
15, 20
wait.
minutes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll find out when I'm writing my column, and all of a sudden I start doing it in Cantonese, Chinese, or something like that.
Or this very colorful language.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I'll actually get better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's possible.
That's possible.
Thank
That's
you.
what-
Thank you.
Thank
for
you very
letting
much.
me
I want to
teach
say
you.
thank you to everyone here, to Mskindness, of course, and to my daughter. And we'd like to wish you all happy 420.
Happy 420.